So this time we're going to do a inverse trigonometry triangle with sides of 91 feet and 35 feet. And we're going to go ahead and just use the Pythagorean theorem to start it off with to solve for b. So with our a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we know also that the missing b squared is going to be the same thing as c squared, which is 91 squared minus 35 squared. So we're skipping a couple steps here now that we're getting comfortable with what we've been doing. So again, this is just another form of Pythagorean theorem. So b is going to equal the square root of these two. b equals square root 91 squared minus 35 squared. Let's punch that in. That gives us 84. So don't forget our units. We're at 84 feet as our missing side. Now let's look at doing some of the inverse trig to find our missing angles. So I'll start off with theta. Let's look at theta. If theta were our perspective, the opposite would be 35 and the hypotenuse would be 91. So opposite and hypotenuse, that's sine. So sine of theta is opposite 35 over 91. So skipping a step and getting rid of the sine on this side, we're going to have to take the inverse sine of 35 over 91. And I get an angle of 22.620 degrees. So theta is 22.620. And we'll go ahead and use the opposite, which is going to be the same information we had, but we're going to use cosine because now that we're using b's perspective, we're going to be looking at the adjacent 35, which was the opposite of b. Well, now it's the adjacent since we're using a different perspective, a different angle. So if we're using adjacent, that's going to be cosine b equals 35, the adjacent, over 91, the hypotenuse. So b by itself, cosine inverse of 35 over 91. And that is going to be 67.380 degrees. So adding these up, plus our 90 degrees that we have here, let's see what we get. 90 plus 22.620 plus 67.380 gives you 180 degrees. So all our answers check out. We could even do some of our normal trig backwards and make sure we got the same missing side. If we wanted to check our Pythagorean theorem method, but we solve for all the missing information there once again. Okay, we'll look at some real life situations starting out on the next problems that we start doing together.